It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
What up, everybody? It's Maz and Broder. That's right, Ermanni and Edwards have the day off today. So you got us guys here on the Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz program. So you got Matt Broder. Welcome in, my friend. You're looking good.
Thank you, Maz.
At least you make the place look good. I mean, you got me here, and then at least we got you.
I appreciate that. With JB in the booth and Braylon normally sitting here, I should have worn my hat today. I should have worn one of the hats to kind of fit in, but I'm so excited to be here with you, Maz.
It's good to have you, man. I know you're my baseball guy and my football guy, so I'm in good hands today along with JB, and let's see who's in the middle chair today.
Uh-oh. Who is it?
The youngster, Jeff Iafrate. That's right. He stayed here all day long just to be with us. Jeff, what's up, my friend?
I'm chilling, Maz. You know I got your back. I'll do anything for my guy, Maz. I'm hanging with the boys. Matt Broder, happy for him as always. You know, they have to at least have one Michigan slappy on this program. So Matt Broder fills in now for Braylon. So I'm happy to be here with the guys, man. This is amazing.
All right. And we got Parker in the big booth as well. He'll keep us going. And hopefully my headphone jack will continue to play in my ears. But you know what it is, guys. It's Wednesday afternoon here. It's a hump day on Woodward Sports Network. Coming off the trade deadline yesterday. Some people calling it a disaster if you're a Tigers fan. Some people saying, well, I'm saying, if you're not going to get a good deal, at least you didn't give him away. And you got a chance maybe now, if you want this guy long term, I'm talking about Eduardo Rodriguez, to maybe sign him to a longer-term deal and take the opt-out clause out. Matt, what do you say about what happened yesterday with Scott Harris? And, what happened yesterday is he was getting traded to the Dodgers. It was all done. All Erod had to do was sign on the dotted line. And he talked it over with his wife and his family, and they said no.
It might be the first time I've heard of someone avoiding the beach, wanting to stay on the East Coast, although you actually would prefer the East Coast to the West Coast. But
oh, no, I'll take California.
You'll take it?
Oh, yeah.
I know you like the heat. But it was kind of a puzzling day overall. I'm with you that I'm not panicking. I still think Scott Harris is doing something right. But it's just weird to see this trade go down, the one trade go down, the tease for Erod going to the Dodgers, and then it to fall apart with nothing else in the works.
I know, and people are saying, what the hell did Scott Harris do? Didn't he know that the Dodgers were on the no-trade list? He did know, and they had a deal worked out, and Rodriguez said, okay. And then he changed his mind at about an hour and 15 minutes before the deadline was over, and by that time, the Orioles already had gotten a starter, and no one else, I guess, was knocking on the door with a quality player that Scott Harris wanted. So now the worst thing you get is you get a frontline lefty starter. That's not so bad.
No, it's not. And I was always of the sense that it's okay if we keep him, because I think baseball, and especially with this team, this young team, having them experience some form of winning baseball, and I say that relatively loosely. I mean, with Erod, at least you know he's very likely when he's on the mound, you're gonna be competitive that game. So I'm totally okay with them keeping Erod, and I know the contract isn't team friendly, we'll say, but the puzzling part is that we didn't learn what Scott Harris was truly trying to do over the next couple of years.
I would love to have known the player, or players we were going to get from LA. And don't forget, Scott Harris is not the general manager; he's the president. You really do not have an official general manager of the Tigers yet.
It's true.
So, well, it still looks bad, but in reality, it might turn out to be good. Jeff, you got any thoughts on this trade or non-trade?
Yeah, well, more like non-trade. But to speak on Scott Harris, I thought it was a little ridiculous, the overreaction towards Scott. It's, and we talked a little bit about it today in the morning show. I think there's a lot of different angles to this, and you kind of already alluded to one of them. To assume that Scott Harris made this deal without even having any dialogue with Eduardo Rodriguez is idiotic. And that's why if you watch the presser with Scott, he was trying so hard, Maz and Matt, to not throw Erod under the bus.
Yeah.
Like when they asked him
Facts.
directly, hey, like, why'd you trade him knowing that the Dodgers were in that 10-team no-trade clause? And he was like, well, and you could tell he was like stuttering because he didn't know how to phrase it.
Yeah.
But essentially he was like, hey, we talked. I'll leave it at that. So I think that tells me that, Scott had a deal. The deal was done. And Erod felt a different way about it.
He did.
So,
Hey, let's take you. Bally's Sports put this out on Twitter for us today. Let's listen to Scott Harris tell us what happened.
With all players, we are at the mercy of markets. With Eduardo specifically, his performance is a fit for every team in baseball. Every team in baseball would want that type of starter in their rotation. However, there were some contractual headwinds that influenced his market. There were a couple of terms in his contract that disqualified a lot of markets from pursuing him. So we were working with the market that we had with Eduardo. We were communicating with Eduardo, in person, via text, and on the phone. And at the end of the day, we reached an agreement on Eduardo that he was not comfortable with. And he ultimately decided to stay in Detroit. If the consolation prize for, not getting that deal is we get one of the best left-handed starters in baseball on the mound every 5 nights, sign me up for that. We're excited to get Eduardo back. He's been a very powerful mentor for some of our young starters, and he's going to give us a great chance to win every 5 days.
There you have it. Basically what we said and what he has to say, basically. And he is not wrong when you're putting a hell of a starter that a lot of teams would like to have.
100%.
On the hill every 5 days. And as long as he stays with the team, not like last year, stays with the team, I think maybe you try to re-sign him. Now, I tweeted it out, or whatever the hell you call it these days. I posted something, and I'm getting hit with, we don't want him, can't trust him. He's, forget it. Look what he did last year. He had family issues. Yeah, it would have been nice if he had stayed in touch with the club last year and said, look, I'm going through some things. I need some time, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of people don't want him back. Tiger fans, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Not the ones throwing the poop emojis out there. Thank you, Uncle Neil, by the way. Not Uncle Neil's soft feet. The real Neil Deal. Neil the real deal rule with these poop emojis. I'll get to that in a minute. But bro, what do you got, man?
I would have loved to see them not necessarily buy or sell, but make a move for like a back end of the reliever type player where when you got a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez or Tarek Skubal pitching into the 6th, you can then run out Foley Langan and another dominant bullpen piece to then shrink that game. I'm not saying we're going to contend, definitely not for the World Series this year, but there's a chance over the next 2 months that we can gain a little bit on the Twins, especially with the amount of games that we have against them. So I would have loved to see him make maybe a little more strategic move to shorten those games later in this season without really affecting the long term. But we made our one trade with Michael Lorenzen,
yep.
and we're moving forward with that.
That's what you got, folks. And you got a team that's 7.5 games out right now and a whole bunch of games left. Who knows? Maybe they could put 3, 4, 5 in a row against the Twins, which are going to be playing next week.
Yeah.
They get the Pirates right now, and they are beating the Pirates on getaway day. Then the Rays come in this weekend. So it's going to be something. If you want to get a home run ball, sit in left field when Isaac Paredes is at the plate.
Are you calling your shot? Isaac Paredes.
He's going to hit 3 home runs this weekend.
Multiple home
runs. You hear
runs.
me? 3 home runs this weekend by former Tiger Isaac Paredes, all to left field.
Do you know much about Hasu Lee, the prospect
I
that
don't,
we
but
received?
Just from what you guys have put out there and what I've read from Tony Paul and Lynn Henning, seems to be a baseball rat, like a gym rat type guy.
Yeah, and we talked about on the morning show today, with the Lions players and the players they brought in or drafted, we talk a lot about Dan Campbell guys. Like, that's who they're bringing into the building. This guy, Hao-Yu Lee, is totally a Scott Harris guy. It's a Michael Broder guy, their chief hitting coach, their top hitting coach. He's a guy who can control the strike zone. Like you said, he's a gym rat or a field rat, we'll call it. He's always out there on the field trying to get better. And they're trying to build their minor league system with a lot of guys like this that are versatile on the infield or outfield and have a really great command of the strike zone. So he's 20 years old. It's going to be a couple years till we see him. But at least that's the only little glimpse we're getting out of Scott Harris of, like, truly, how are they trying to build this team for the future?
And, of course, he drafted a kid out of high school with our #1 pick, Max Crosby. So we'll see how it all... Max Clark, him too. Max Crosby and Max Clark.
Max Crosby is a great player.
He's coming over from the Raiders, yes, of course.
We'll see him, week 8?
We will see him in week 8. All right, now let's take a look at these poop emojis that are out here right now.
What's going on in the chat?
Explain to me, what did I miss here? Does anyone in the room here know what I missed with these poop emojis?
So... Do you got it, Jeff?
I don't have the details. I just
Who's got
know.
the deets?
Yeah, JB, do you have more of this intel?
I
think
do
JB does.
But from what I heard from the show is that Spencer has kind of taken it upon the fans of the Ermanni and Edwards, especially in the chats, to drop some poop emojis for you guys.
Yeah.
Just to swarm the whole chat to kind of throw you guys off a little bit.
They're also throwing in here that Joe Namath has passed away, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm kind of thinking that they're just doing everything to upset me, to bust my balls today, because there's no way. Great Joe Willie Namath.
That Joe Namath thing, Maz, that's a little personal to you.
Yeah,
all right? They're just trying to attack you.
I mean, come on, guys. What are you doing? Spencer, get your ass in here, Spencer.
Uncle Maz wants to speak.
I'm coming for you, man.
So that's a lie?
They're
That's
liars.
not true?
They're a bunch of liars and poop throwers.
I haven't seen any news reports yet, so I'll still stay on the lookout for it, but hopefully it's not true.
If these idiots know he's dead, then everyone would know, and he's not dead. So you guys could all go to hell.
Hey, Kyle Bird gave some context. He says, Spenny wanted people to do it because this show is perceived as the golden child of Woodward Sports.
The golden child. I have no Ryan. I have no Braylon. I don't know who's coming in each day. I got my boys here. I'm the golden child. Huh? Okay. We'll see how it rolls. We'll see how it goes. Now you, my friend, you didn't make it to Lions practice today.
I didn't.
But here comes Spencer. But there's a lot of Lions news out there, and a lot of it is good as far as JMO goes, and we're going to tell you about that. But first, we're going to take a break and tell you a little bit about 5-Iron Golf.
5-Iron Golf. Let me tell you about that. Play, practice, and party at 5-Iron Golf in Detroit. They're located inside the Cambria Hotel. They are downtown's newest sports bar. They've taken 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and a full bar and restaurant. Mention the promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first visit, and visit 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times. That is 5irongolf.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Welcome back to Woodward Sports. It is Broder and Maz right here today alongside all my guys. Jeff Iafrate, Spenny is in the house as well with JB and Parker. Spenny, I called you in here because I don't like what I'm seeing on the chat. The chat's usually really nice to me and nice to our show, and all I'm seeing is Joe Namath is dead and poop emojis. And I know the next thing I'm going to see is Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth sucks,
played
man.
against plumbers or something like that.
Plumbers and math teachers.
Okay, what is your issue? What is the Big D energy issue?
The Big D energy issue. It's it's.
You want us to do?
It's a long-standing issue
Okay.
that has been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and it boiled over today. And
how did it boil over?
It started with the headphones.
Oh, the headphones from the golf outing?
Yeah, from the golf outing.
Well, you know, Neil could have asked for those.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan and I have been asking for those since day one of a remote. Because when you do a remote, folks, they give you these little chintzy things to put on so you don't see the headphones. They want you to look as good as you can, but you can't hear anything. You can't, especially if there's noise. If you're at Dispo, forget it. You can't hear a damn thing.
Yeah.
Turned out at the golf course, we could have heard and got away with it. But when you have the headphones on, you could hear it clear. So
That's why
Neil
I'm
was a little
comfortable.
upset that Ryan and myself had headphones ready for us for our show.
And we never get calls, or we can never make calls. They never work on BDE.
Well, they hardly work here. I could hardly get a V-Mix to work. Come on, man.
Man, I'm
Also-
just saying, battle lines are drawn. We're gonna have inter show fights.
What do you
to
want me
the
to do? A
death.
fruit draft? Would that make you happy?
Inter show
Want me to
inter
draft
show
some fruit? How about we draft some men's deodorants?
inter show fights to the death. All I know is
How
if
about
we're,
some soaps?
if we're drafting men's deodorant, Dove Men Plus spray is number
Dove
one.
Men's good, but I'm still going with the old school Rycard. I use Rycard.
The speed
I
stick.
actually am a
No,
Ricard guy
I hate
too.
Speed Stick. Rycard, I put the spray on.
Yeah, the spray.
all the crap that's no good for you. That's what I use.
I'm a spray on guy.
I use that.
Dove Men Plus spray.
And apparently there's an issue that I have my training camp notes in by 2:00.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are great. Thank
They're
you.
always
that, man.
always
Appreciate that.
Wanted to make sure it's
Make-
ready for your show.
make sure it's in for the final word.
Now, I just want Spenny, I want you guys to know that I am always at your disposal for anything that you ever need. No one ever reaches out. No one really. The only thing you really asked for was, who was the old dude, Milt Plum? I failed on Milt Plum, and I haven't forgotten. I am going to get Milt Plum on your show. But that's the only thing that's ever been asked of me.
It's true,
Jeff,
Maz.
and everyone here knows, anyone asks me anything, I go out of my way.
Oh, I
for you
know,
guys.
man. I know, man.
Out of my way.
You're the guy. You're the guy. But
I
Babe
used-
Ruth still sucks.
Let me take you back in time to the real deal and Neil Rule.
Back in time. to
Okay,
World
Neil
War II.
Rule, back in the day, wasn't as, good looking as he is now. Okay, kind of looked a little like me. Okay, and there he is, and he's just farting around in Oakland U, doing his things. And you know what I'm doing? I always said I want Neil Rule wherever I go.
Yeah.
I took Neil Rule with me. 1270 XYT, I had Neil Rule there. 105.1 FM, I had Neil Rule there. Here, I brought Neil Rule in to get his interview, and he got the gig. Me.
Hell yeah,
No one
man.
else. Me. Okay?
Leading receipts.
Neil is my guy, and for him to turn his back on me and my show is a lot of crap. And
It is a lot of crap.
this Joe Namath stuff is just out of whack. All right, I wanted a full apology.
So
and
that-
I want you guys to take back everything you said about
The
it.
RIP Joe Namath was not Neil Rule. That was not concocted by Neil. Because whenever you do, I've heard that if you watch illegal streams of sports, somewhere, I don't know where you'd find them, like Stream East or something like that.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, but they always put like RIPs in the chat, and yeah, so
That's where you got it from?
the heavyweights concocted one for Maz.
Oh, good for you guys. You got me.
Love you, Maz.
Almost. I love you.
Maz.
You made me. I couldn't wait to throw it to Broder so I can go online to make sure Joe is okay. And he is okay. He is
He is-
alive and breathing in Florida.
Smoking Joe is still smoking.
No, Smoking Joe died. That's Joe Frazier.
Broadway Joe.
0 for 1.
RIP Smoking Joe's in the chat.
That Joe I know
That's Joe
is dead.
Frazier? Smoking Joe is
Smoking
Joe
Joe
Frazier.
Frazier. He's dead.
What's Joe Namath's nickname?
Joe Willie Namath.
Joe Willie Namath?
Yeah, Super Joe.
I don't know if I like that as
Broadway
much.
Joe.
Broadway. Okay, there we go. I
you
hadn't
go.
heard of Willie Namath.
Well,
Joe
Joe Willie
Willie
Namath.
Namath,
He's always been
Broadway
called
Joe.
Joe Willie Namath.
Babe Ruth still sucks though, Maz.
No, he doesn't.
Dude, come on.
Spenny, he made the NFL what it is today.
Broadway
Now,
Joe.
Let me explain something to you. He doesn't have the great numbers that other great quarterbacks have. He was the first guy with charisma that came into the AFL. First guy that got paid. He broke every barrier that you could imagine. Came over from Alabama. Bad knee. Hurt it in the Orange Bowl. Jets still draft him. And you know who drafted him in the NFL?
Who's that?
The St. Louis Cardinals. So he chose to go to the Jets. Jets gave him a big contract. I thought it was like $600,000, $700,000. That was the biggest deal ever back in the old 60s. And then he, of course, guaranteed a win in Super Bowl III against the heavily favored Baltimore Colts and broke the NFL's back. So they had to merge the following year. When the Chiefs and the Vikings played, Chiefs beat the Vikings.
Wait, the AFL,
to AFL.
The AFL wasn't a part of the NFL yet?
The AFL was their own league. Like
but they still
USFL.
played in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, because the two leagues played against each other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the first Super Bowl was Chiefs against the Packers, then the Raiders against the Packers. Packers won them both. Then the Jets against the heavily favored Colts, 19-point favorites in that game.
Damn.
And then the Vikings won the NFL championship the following year. They were heavily favored over the Kansas City Chiefs, who wiped the floor with the Vikings. So the AFL and the NFL merged after those two wins.
Flannel does not like Joe Namath.
Well, Flannel could kiss my ass. And I love Flannel.
Wait, do you think Babe Ruth would make it out of Double-A ball today?
Yes, I think he would. There's a good chance he would.
I don't think he would.
I think he would. I think I've had enough of you now.
I think he'd struggle to get me Double-A.
Iafrate, get back in that chair. Spenny, we'll see you on the heavyweights.
I'll see you later, man.
Love you,
you,
man.
R.I.P. Joe Namath.
All right, go to hell. What time is it? It is 2:21. We're still good.
Can I ask you real quick?
Of course.
Was Joe Namath, are you saying he was responsible for the quarterback becoming the personality, that
Absolutely.
Like the bravado of the quarterback?
First quarterback to wear white shoes.
Really?
Yeah. Joe, they used to call him Joe Willie, Joe White Shoes.
We need more history lessons, not to age you or anything. You're young at heart, but we need some more of these history lessons.
I'm here for you, man, anytime you need it. But Joe Namath, definitely the straw that stirred the drink for the AFL, and obviously that's why he's in the Hall of Fame mainly.
Broadway Joe.
Yeah, for the guaranteed victory, and he had a hell of an arm as well. Hey, just to wrap up baseball yesterday, the Mets, here's a little stat for you guys. The Mets gave away, obviously, Verlander, Scherzer, and half their team. Let me put up this tweet for you. The New York Mets are paying former players $152 million. That would rank them 17th on the Major League 2023 payroll list. Those are players that don't play for the Mets. So that's a team that the Mets traded away. That would come in 17th.
The 17th highest paid team.
And then the Mets themselves would be higher than that because the rest of their team is making $158 million.
And it includes Bobby Bonilla?
Yes.
That's factored into the decision?
That's all factored in.
Wow.
Isn't that something? What they gave away and then what they told Max Scherzer. Max wanted to stay. Verlander wanted to stay. But the GM of the Mets and the owner of the Mets, Steve Cohen had enough. This is a lifelong Met fan. Richest owner in baseball is Steve Cohen. But what he is paying out of his ass right now is like up to $800 million in dead deals. They had to send, I forget, $60 million to Houston for them to take the Verlander deal. Verlander's only going to make $22 million in the next 2 years from Houston.
Wow.
The Mets are paying the brunt of that.
Did you see the stat of Max Scherzer? He's the first maybe player in professional sports history, definitely baseball, who's getting paid $15 million by 3 different teams in the same year.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And he's just banking it all. And they're both going to World Series teams.
Yeah.
The Mets were supposed to be that team. They turned out not to be. The Yankees did not make a move. I'm pretty happy about that. They got a couple of little deals, but they're not going anywhere this year. So they had no choice really but to stay status quo.
Are you a fan of what the Mets have done?
No.
Not their sell-off?
At this point, I would have just kept the 2 guys, and I would have just marketed around them. Mm-hmm. You got the money. Just pick up some extra players, market around them, and try to win. If you can't get in this year, you still got a hell of a chance to win next year. But they had a shot to get this #1 prospect from the Astros, which they did, and that's what they pulled off. Texas, I'm not sure what they gave up for Scherzer. Nothing too spectacular. But the Mets they're an unmitigated disaster. They told Scherzer, look, we're not rebuilding next year. We're looking for 2025. Gotcha. So he's like, okay, trade me.
All right.
There you go. There's your baseball, guys. We got Lions talk coming up. Matt Broder in the house. Jeff Iafrate as well. plenty to talk about. A lot of good news for Jamison Williams fans. We're going to tell you about that and a little story about Romeo Okwara. But first, we're going to send it out for a little tasty treat from Fairway Packing.
Oh, of course. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, and you can always order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
And
Welcome back, everybody. This is not Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. It's today Broder and Maz with Jeff, right? It's a little spin-off edition.
there you go.
Jeff.
We're having fun today. You know, a little Joe Namath, little poop emojis. You know, a little Spenny, Big D energy versus Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. A little warfare going
what's
on.
What's it saying in there in the chat
The
there,
people are speaking.
What are they saying?
Almighty J-Mo says Broder's stash is crazy.
It is.
Broder getting love with the mustache.
He's a stud.
And Justin says, is Ryan in trouble for treating the workers unfairly? No, he is not. He is not in trouble for that.
Ryan is the man.
Yeah, Ryan is the man. Almighty J-Mo says, Broder got that beginning Burt Reynolds going on with that mustache.
There you go.
These are
That's a
compliments.
compliment.
Yeah. These are.
How about a little Clark Gable?
Come on.
There you go.
Khalil says, I thought Maz was an Old Spice type of guy.
I do love Old Spice.
Old Spice is...
I have it in the shower. Good call, Khalil. I got the body wash.
Hey.
Nice call, Khalil.
Cody Engel says Verlander will now go into the Hall as an Astro.
He might, man.
There's some truth to that.
He might. They love Houston. I mean, the Uptons love Houston. Justin and Kate Upton.
Oh, that's true.
They do love Houston. They did love New York, and I thought they were great for New York. And he is the best pitcher in baseball as we speak right now. Garrett Cole, him, a couple of other good guys as
He's
well.
turned 40 already, or he's about to be 40?
Oh, he's 41.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Max Scherzer's 39. And they could be meeting in the ALCS, by the way, which is amazing. Right now, Houston a half a game back of Texas.
And they're
in the
getting some
AL
players
West.
healthy, right? Jordan's coming back.
They had a no-hitter last night.
Framber Valdez.
Framber Valdez, 96 pitches?
That's
The
efficient.
rich get richer, man.
Maz, what about this comment? 40 Gumble says, how much did milk cost when Namath got that $600K, Maz?
Milk Plum was making 25 grand then.
How much does milk cost?
Oh, milk.
Yeah.
I thought he said milk plum.
No.
Milk was a quarter. Hey, it's only $1.69 now for a half gallon.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad.
Anything I feel like before, like 1975, just cost a quarter. You know, that's what my parents always.
Gas was like 13 cents.
Ice cream, you'll get ice cream cone, and it's a nickel.
I got a great deal today. I paid only
on.
$3.49 for a gallon. $3.39 for a gallon. What a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I'm going to New Jersey next week. It's gonna cost me. I might as well fly.
Yeah.
I might as well fly, but I won't. I'll drive.
Well, you're old school. You want to
am.
get there. You want to drive.
Welcome back to Woodward Sports, everybody. We got our baseball fix. I'm going to get you some football now, some Lions news. Matt Broder, of course, one of our Lions beat reporters alongside Gabby and Terry Foster. So you weren't there today, but good things happened today. A little bit on Jamison Williams, and well, who's calling me? Oh, someone that doesn't know I'm on the air is calling me. Nonetheless, good things happening in camp, especially with Jamison Williams. Dan Campbell was asked about J-Mo. How are you going to use him in the preseason, Dan?
In J-Mo those reps in the preseason games.
It's going to be huge. I mean to cut you off. Are you done with that, or are you reading?
All you.
It'll be imperative. I mean, we're gonna douse him with a ton of game reps. He needs that, you know. He needs that, you know, as he does practice. But man, and I'm telling you, as with anybody, the more reps he gets, the more time on tests, the more consecutive practices and reps he can put together, he'll just grow. I really believe that, you know. And I do believe he wants it. I do believe he wants to get better. I do believe. So he'll grind through this, and let's see where we can go with it.
I kind of liked everything about that, except I didn't like the end of that. Did you hear him? He's like rubbing his head, and that's when he gets upset, when he starts taking his hat off. And he's like, yeah, you know, he wants to get better. You know, he's gonna put the work in as he's rubbing his head. That's a telltale sign to me that I don't think maybe he's working as hard.
You're reading his body language.
I am totally reading his body, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's just to get people going. People know how I feel about this kid. I think he's made, you know, a couple of mistakes. He doesn't look good in the public view, the public eye, to me at least. He's got that laissez-faire attitude, and I know he's a speeder, he's a burner, but he's going to have 6 weeks off to himself. And I'm going to see what the hell he's made of then. But right now, just reading Dan Campbell's body language. And guys, I'm in the chat. I want to ask you too. Maybe I'll play the end of that again. Parker, let me know when you have that ready to go for the last 10, 15 seconds. But I want you guys to watch Dan Campbell's body. Just the way he's pulling his hat off. You know the deal with him. Check it out again.
Together, he'll just grow. I really believe that, you know. And I do believe he wants it. I do believe he wants to get better. I do believe. So he'll grind through this, and let's see where we can go with it.
Okay, he'll grind through it. Am I wrong?
No, it was an interesting interview because his body language and the tone of his voice, it changed throughout the whole, not just the whole press conference, but the whole comment on Jamison Williams.
It's a sore subject around that. Let's face it.
Well, I think they're just partially sick of it too.
Yeah.
Like it's, you know, the J-Mo discussion, we could legitimately have like a segment a day about just J-Mo strictly.
Right.
But he's not wrong about the reps. Like you go back to J-Mo in college, first 2 years in college at Ohio State, of course, 15 catches. Like barely played, and then obviously at Alabama, that's what got him drafted. But then he missed most of his first season with the ACL. Now he's suspended. Like, although I defend J-Mo, I think he's uber talented. He is right. Like, reps are one of the more important things for Jamison Williams.
And you know, I was looking for Dan Campbell to come out and say, "There's nothing to worry about."
Yes, that's what I want to hear.
A couple drops, no big deal. But he kind of hyper focused on the drops. Like and maybe we're reading too far into it, but he was like, we don't expect him to be an elite, you know, pass catch, you know, a hands guy, which is fine. You know, he's got the wheels and he can affect the game in other ways, but I don't know why he needed to say that. You know, just say they're just drops, it's practice. But it's clear that they realize that they're not looking for him as a possession receiver. He's their weapon that when he's on the field.
But you got to catch it, Matt.
You do have to catch it. But I think they're in training camp, I believe they're more interested in seeing how he's performing in it's weird to say in other areas of football besides catching. He's a receiver, but in all the other intangibles, like in the blocking game, blocking for running backs and receivers downfield. How is his route running and route recognition when the defense is playing zone? I think they're looking for a lot of different things, and just observing him, you know, his first full padded practice of his career on Monday. He just seems like a kid, almost. He's itching to get out of his body. He's just got all this pent up energy. He's been waiting to get out on the field, and he dropped a couple balls, and apparently he did today too. He dropped a couple more balls.
Mike O'Hara was on with us the other day, and he told us the kid drops a lot of passes, but he also said, "I've never seen anyone as fast as him and get separation like him." And you know, and I know they're all sick of all these questions. Parker, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, when I was at training camp the other day on Monday, I mean, you could see the absolute, like, just talent on this kid. I mean, there were several plays where, I mean, maybe he didn't catch the ball, but he's like, there's a large amount of separation between the two guys. I mean, Starling Thomas V and him got in a couple scuffles the other day just because of, I mean, it's hard to guard the guy that's that fast. So
yeah, I think you look at the receiver, his love for the game. Like, that's what Dan talks about, and there's no doubt J-Mo loves football. Like, they ask him questions, he handles them perfectly. You know, as people might question his character, I thought it was great when they asked him just about the time he'll be off. First thing he said, "Yeah, I'm flying my trainer in. We're gonna get working." Like, that's what you want to hear. It's always difficult for a guy like J-Mo walking into a situation where there's already a number one wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he's like the exception to work ethic. Like, he is the like, we're talking about working hard.
Follow him around.
Absolutely, but he's always going to be compared to that. Amon-Ra doesn't drop balls. He's catching 202 after practice, 202 balls. Like, whether J-Mo, it's just unfortunate. You're always going to be compared to that guy. Like, his work ethic.
Khalif Raymond's working on the jugs machine as well, 200 plus.
Absolutely, but I want to say, just because he's not Amon-Ra and has that type of mentality doesn't mean he can't be great. I know people look at it like, well, he dropped a couple balls.
But maybe he should be catching 200 balls after practice. Maybe he should.
Potentially.
And maybe he will, right?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or maybe he is inside. There are parts of the day that us as the media, or even people watching practice, they have other parts of their day-to-day game plan that they're executing inside the building. So
I get it.
Who knows? But you're right. I heard from talking to some of the guys down at camp today, there was 15 or 20 people waiting after practice, practicing after practice today. Got my words mixed up a little bit. So that Amon-Ra mentality is starting to pay off. But, man, Jameson Williams, he has potential to be arguably the most electric player in the entire NFL. His
potential.
Speed is exactly potential.
Yeah.
Potential.
He's caught one pass, right?
Yeah.
One touchdown.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Preseason, he's going to get a lot of work. Hopefully he stays healthy. Another guy, and I want to show you this. This is what I want Dan Campbell to look like when he's talking about Jameson Williams. He's talking about Denzel Mims here. Check this out.
I like Mims. Here's the first thing that shows up to me, aside from the size, because he is, he's kind of an imposing figure for a receiver out there at X. But man, he's physical. You know, you get up there and press him, and it shows up. Like, it's different. He can fight out there. He can battle versus press. And here's the other thing I love. He's never been a special teams guy. We told him from day one, man, you got to do some things. We need to see if you can do some things on teams. And to his credit, a guy who's never really done it, I mean, he's out here, he's going. And Phip and I were talking about him last night. We're watching these clips. I'm like, this guy's just competing, and now he's got a ways to go. He's raw in some things. We don't know. But, man, I appreciate the fact the guy has come in and doing everything. He said he would. He said, Coach, I'll do whatever, and I'll give you whatever I got. And he's doing it. So I respect the heck out of that. He's somebody that I'm really, man, I want to see if he can take another step, and there's some things he can do for us on offense.
Okay. To me, that sounds like a guy that this guy loves. And I know he's got to try to pump the kid up to try to make the team.
Right.
Jameson's got a free pass. He's a number one pick. He's a golden child. He's got a spot. But doesn't that sound different to you?
That's what you want him to say about Jameson Williams.
That's when you know Dan Campbell is at ease.
Yeah, all right, Mims isn't, dominating in practice, but we like what we see. We like how he competes. He's willing to do everything. That's what we want to hear about J-Mo, and so that's why it sort of sticks out. Mims is battling for a spot, and he's one of those guys that could solidify that X position, especially when J-Mo's out. I think we're looking at Mims versus Antoine Green as possibly taking that spot. There might be an undrafted free agent that could make his way up the depth chart too, but I do believe it's Mims versus Antoine Green. How do you feel about that, Jeff?
It's tough because Denzel Mims, I know Lions fans are going to try and hype up anybody we get, but there is legitimate hype with Denzel Mims. Physically, he is imposing. And you look back to last year, all the big plays that Jared had, I mean, a couple to Khalif, but mostly it was who? DJ Chark, the guy that was able to stretch the field, 6'4", runs a 4.3. I mean, now you got Mims, 6', not saying he's Chark, but a guy that can fill that void and hopefully just be a deep threat, especially the first 6 games. You need another guy
And it's a guy
without J-Mo.
Yeah, it's a guy or a position that doesn't need 6 catches for 125 yards.
Right.
They just need to be that deep threat, like DJ Chark was, that it forces the defense to game plan around that and to adjust their schemes, knowing that that is an option. And it's even more amplified with Jamison on the field because Jamison isn't just a deep threat. In fact, he's more of a underneath threat. Get him the ball in space and let him go.
Facts.
So I know most people think he's just a deep threat. Like Jared Goff can't even hit him deep. It's like that's maybe the smallest part of his game with the Lions. So,
good call.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they use him, how Ben Johnson uses him in that offense in week 7 on.
And Maz, too, you look at the wide receiver core. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown's the only one that you know for certain will be, he'll get his fair share of targets.
Yep.
Besides that, through the first 6 games, Josh Reynolds, and he's solid, but Mims can really break way into this.
Did you see the original Amon-Ra St. Brown get hurt in Rams practice? Talking about Cooper Kupp. Guy don't drop any passes either. Got hurt his hamstring. He's going to be out a few weeks at least. And that's not good if you're a Rams guy. I don't think the Rams are going anywhere, but who the hell knows? But that's what you want. You need the health, guys, right? If you guys stay healthy, you got a chance to win. If Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down, you got trouble.
Right.
You got trouble. Now, Sam Laporta hurt his ankle a few days ago. I think you were at that practice, Parker, on Monday. He came back today. He's on the field, and hopefully he's at 100%. But what do you think of Sam Laporta so far?
Yeah, it was a mystery when he left practice on Monday. All the other reporters are there. We couldn't figure out why. We didn't see an injury happen.
Why. Yeah.
Now we know. It was a minor ankle injury, and he's been out there today at practice. Sam Laporta has been fun to watch. He's all business. I mean, he's a fun guy, so he's got a great personality. You hear him talk in press conferences, but he's also, when he's on the field, he is all business. Whether it's in individual drills, 11-on-11s, 7-on-7s, he's putting in work in not only at a traditional tight end spot with James Mitchell on the field, with Brock Wright on the field, or as the single tight end.
I forgot about James Mitchell.
Yeah, we can definitely get to him because he's quietly ascending
I want to hear
up
that.
the depth chart. But Laporta, what he looks like in the pass game, it doesn't look like a tight end. This is a name that not many people are going to enjoy me talking about, but it's similar to what we thought T.J. Hawkinson could bring in terms of an athleticism, a route running standpoint, a little farther down the field. What Sam Laporta has done in the blocking game, in the run game, and blocking downfield after other passes, that's where I was watching him the last couple days, and whether he's missed a block here or there or not, he's so focused on developing that aspect of his game, which is something Ben Johnson has talked about in his press conference. We want to see how some of these rookies, and especially tight ends, other than Brock Wright, which they're very comfortable with, but these tight ends,
Won the Jets game last year.
Yeah, how do they respond when it starts to get physical? When they put pads on Monday, how's Laporta going to respond to that? And he looked good.
He's from tight end U in Iowa, so we'll see how he does. Jeff, what's your thought on Sam?
I love him. I think he'll be the best tight end out of this
Flannel,
class.
I'm talking about Laporta.
I love Flannel too, but Sam Laporta I think will be the best tight end out of this class, and I think there's a lot of upside there. With Laporta, especially with this tight end room. You go back last year, Maz, and I know people like to say, and I would agree with this sentiment to some extent, but Lions didn't even need T.J. Hawkinson, and they were able to do without him. Right. But let's not act like T.J. was some bum either.
No, he's not.
So that's the part I disagree with. Exactly. You were never going to pay him. But what happened is after T.J. left, you talk about the tight end, the production from that room, and now you're dropping in a guy that I think walks in day one as the best tight end. And I know James Mitchell, there's some love there. And I was, me, Booner, Mike, and Lucas were at training camp Sunday, and we got to see the second team and James Mitchell working in with the second team. He was making plays. And I know it is a second team, but that shows if you're playing above the level you're at, he deserves some love too.
Until he got hurt at Va-Tech, he was going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah. Would it have been the top tight end? I can't remember who won it.
He wouldn't have been.
But he would have been.
First or second round, they said.
Guaranteed. And it was ACL injury that bumped him back. But we also saw when Zylstra got injured, I was waiting to see
sucks, by the way.
how it does. And I was waiting to see what their decision was going to be on the roster. Were they going to sign a new tight end, or are they just comfortable with the three there?
They did bring another tight end.
They brought in two.
Yeah.
So they released Derek Deese Jr. And added two tight ends, Darren Daniels and Daniel Helm.
Good memory.
So they're going to be competing probably for that fourth spot.
Yeah.
At the very least, they're probably looking to get some NFL film to show to other teams if it doesn't work out. But I guess long-winded answer what I was saying. They value the tight end position, whether they're pass catchers or blockers. they're going to utilize them in their offense in many different ways. So it was interesting to see that transaction after Zylstra went down.
Hey, we got plenty more Lions talk coming your way. We got an unbelievable story on Romeo Okwara and what he has had to go through to get back on the field. Great column today by Kyle Meinke of MLive, and we'll tell you a little bit about that. And we got a little sneak peek at Hard Knocks coming up and some more Jets news. I know you guys love when I talk about the New York Jets. What do we got coming up here now? Because I can't see a damn thing. Mark White, take it away, Parker.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Now, your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. At Outdoor Equipment Company, they're your source for outdoor power equipment. Your source, whether it's sales, services, or parts, they carry top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. They're servicing the Great Lake region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. So, for more information, visit OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Co., where your power equipment playground doesn't matter. I read that wrong. Outdoor Equipment Co., your power equipment playground.
That's what he meant.
That's what I meant.
Welcome back to Woodward Sports. Broder and Maz on the Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz program alongside Jeff Iafrate, Parker, and, of course, JB. Thank you for coming in. I'm Maz, as you know. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a couple of thumbs up, not poop emojis. Don't let Neil do that to you guys. If you can't watch live, download our podcast. Please leave a 5-star review. Available everywhere you listen to podcasts. Go to woodwardsports.com for all the latest news, articles by this man, and updates, show clips, and merchandise. We still got the cap, no cap shirts out there with my ugly mug on the shirt. Before we get into Romeo Okwara and some of the Jets, I heard there's a call coming in on the bat phone. To the bat phone we go. A caller, you are on The Real Deal, or whatever the hell you want to call this show. Caller, are you there? Jeremy's working the board. As we wait for the caller, bro, I'm not sure who could it possibly be calling the show on a whim.
Oh, you know who.
I just don't know who would know the number. 313-552-6322. I know our chat's got to know the number.
It couldn't be anybody by heart. Couldn't be anyone from the 11 o'clock show, because apparently
I doubt
the phone lines don't work
He's
ever.
too busy.
Can't be Jeff Iafrate.
There's no way he could be calling in.
No chance.
No chance at all. Hey, as we wait for our phone call, let me tell you a little bit about Romeo Okwara. As you know, Romeo Okwara went down with an Achilles injury almost the same time that shucks.
Zylstra?
No. Jeff.
Tracy? Who?
Tracy Walker?
Jeff.
2021? Okuda.
Oh,
Jeff Okuda.
Jeff Okuda.
You've already forgot his name.
I thought you were saying my name.
No, Jeff Okuda.
I'm like, Maz, I'm here. I got you.
Okuda and Okwara go down basically with the same injury.
Yep.
Turns out not the same injury, because as you know, Okuda comes back, gets to play the next season, and we're like, where's Romeo Okwara? Where is he? Meanwhile, it took him 5 months to get up to that point and it turns out he just didn't feel right. Did not feel right. And Kyle Meinke wrote this in MLive. So he goes back to the doctor, and the doctor says, I'm sorry, but it didn't work. The operation didn't work. The Achilles is still not right. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, we got to start all over. Start from scratch. So Romeo doesn't have his agent leak the story. He just gets the operation, starts again with all the training and all the rehab, and he like crawling up the stairs for the first month that he's home to get to his bed, which he had literally like it was like a makeshift bed that he was crawling into, and he had he had 2 speakers there that he put the music up real loud so they wouldn't hear him moaning, because that's how much pain he was in. So it turns out Romeo Okwara not only has 1 Achilles injury, but has to do the whole damn thing again. And here he is on the field, and you've seen him.
Yeah.
It's a story, man. That's a guy you want to get behind and root for.
Oh, 100%. And it was a phenomenal story by Kyle Meinke of MLive.com. To hear that and to know how gruesome an Achilles injury is, to just go through it one time.
Can you hear me?
The battle to make it back, just to be able to walk right and be somewhat athletic is grueling. And to come back and compete on an NFL team, to make an NFL roster when there's all these high expectations. And now that I'm thinking about it, did he take his pay cut in the middle of all this?
Yeah, he did.
So we haven't heard anything from him, anything from his camp.
We just thought, oh, wow, this guy, we kind of just, I mean, we did Lion pregame shows last year, Jeff.
Yep.
And we know, oh, yeah, he's out again. Romeo Okwara's out again. We're never going to see this guy again. Little did we know what he was going through at that point.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you have no idea. And, this Romeo Okwara story, although it's close to home, and this is one of many. I feel like a lot of players go through this. Number one, you're a guy like Romeo Okwara who had a breakout season, got paid, and then had an Achilles injury. There has to be that part of him that's like, man, like I'm making good money. I still feel like I can be the player I once was, but people like us don't know the information like this. So for Romeo, I think it's a great story, and for a guy that hopefully this upcoming season can bounce back and return to form. You don't need him to be the 2018, 2019 Romeo Okwara, but damn, with this defensive line, Romeo's going to have a chance to shine.
How's he been looking?
He is, and he's looked good in spurts. Like, you can see his athleticism and his size. He's just a physically...
Well, he's a beast.
He's a beast, and he's been playing... When I've seen him out there, he's been repping with the second and third teams mostly.
Yeah.
One of those things Aaron Gledden doesn't want us to focus too much on, but he's been out there with the second and third teams in that edge position, sort of behind Aiden Hutchinson, and also in that Sam linebacker position, kind of that hybrid what James Houston is trying to do. Coming off the edge, being that extra lineman in some schemes. So, putting this all together and to see some of the flashes that I've seen now, knowing what he's gone through, it's been wild. And just to think that we really haven't heard anything about this, it shows a lot about his character. And I don't know, are you familiar with Lil Wayne, the artist?
Yes, I am.
Lil Weezy.
Yeah.
He's got a quote: "Real G's move in silence like lasagna."
There he is.
I like that I haven't heard much about Romeo Okwara, and he's coming out, took a pay cut, now he's ready to perform.
Man, that'd be like, it's a huge bonus to get anything from him. And if he could stay healthy and become the player he once was, that's like a big bonus for the Lions. And that defense, Jeff, and I want to ask you.
Yeah.
I know you haven't been to camp only one time, but the defense, that's what everyone's focusing on. Last year, they were dead last in the first half of the season. And then at the end of the season, they pulled themselves up into the middle of the pack. What do you expect out of them this year?
I'm excited. We talk a lot about the defense, and I think as opposed to last year, the opposite will happen. Last year it was the offense. I think they're going to lean on their defense a lot this year. New look secondary. You look at that defensive line. That's to me the biggest question mark, because I like Aiden. That's the guy you don't really question. But Houston, how is he going to look? Lee McNeil losing all the weight he lost, still keeping strength. How is he going to look? Is he going to have a breakout season? They got Levi Owens-Enrique back. We'll see what they get out of him. That would be a bonus as well. Broderick Martin, who they drafted.
Yeah.
Like Romeo, this is a big. If you're talking about an evaluation year for this defensive line, this is a year for it. A lot of guys that you like, but no one really sticking out besides Aiden and maybe James Houston.
Hey, that's good good stuff here coming
Good
from you,
poop
Jeff.
emoji.
Hey, yes, good poop emoji. Exactly. I think our phone trouble is okay now. Let's go to the bat phone. Special guest, whoever the heck you are. Oh, there you are. It's Neil Rule.
Oh, Neil.
Look at the real deal.
Who is this? Who is this?
This is Tom Mazawey and Matt Broder.
Woodward. Oh, it's between 2 and 4, so magically everything works now. I forgot about that. That's my bad.
Well, you did call the phone, and the phone did not work. Am I not mistaken there, Neil?
What are you talking about, Matt?
Exactly.
Everything worked.
I want to show you something. Look at all the poop emojis on my phone here. They even had Joe Namath passing away today on me. How about that? On the 44-year anniversary of Thurman Munson dying, they're going to give me this? What is the issues here, Neil?
They got personal, Neil.
You will see not one poop emoji that came from me, Matt. I cannot control what other people do. I can't control that.
But you
People are
can
going to do what they're going to do.
Hey, listen, I heard a rumor, something about poop emojis flooding the final word. I don't know. Who else could have said that? Who did the show with you?
I did the show myself today because I'm capable.
So who could it be then? Who else could it be?
Wasn't for me. You can go back and look. I never said anything like that. I did the show by myself today, Matt. So I don't know where you're getting your information from. I don't know what the problem is, Matt. Hey, Matt, are you able to overcome it though and still do the show?
I am, Neil. You know what? The first person I asked for today, when I heard Braylon couldn't make it because he had laryngitis and Ryan had the day off, I'm like, I need Neil. And Gabby said, well, Neil just did the show on his own. Because you're my first guy I always go to, Neil, because as you know, and I've told the people, that anywhere I go, I bring you along with me.
Because you're smart, Maz. That's why. And, like the deal is this, Maz. Like, I know I'm a lot of people's first guy.
Oh God.
Like around there. Like if you got to have somebody do the show solo, that's me. But hey, I had a teammate that was fallen. I covered up for D-Mac in the broken rib situation because that's how we operate. Maz, I'm just glad that everything is sounded working there.
Me too.
Magically does between 2 and 4 every day.
And listen, I want to offer you the same thing that everyone here has offered. If you want headphones like the ones that go over your ears when you're on a remote, they are there for you if you ask. All you got to do is ask.
Why would I have to ask? Like, if there's more optimum equipment, why would I have to ask? Why wouldn't I just be given the optimum equipment too?
Maybe they thought you preferred the little fancy boy ear muffs or whatever you call these things.
Why don't you guys prefer them?
Because you can't really hear.
So wouldn't people stand to think that if that's what they're going to use, then maybe we would like to use that too? It should be the standard, right, man?
I agree. That should be the standard. But as you know, they don't like the looks of them. They think they're too evasive. That's not the word. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hey, man, look, all I know, here's what I know. When we wrapped up the show at Oakland Hills, all of a sudden, Lindsey Hunter, 2-time NBA champion, and myself, we were in the way. We were in the way of everybody. They were changing out the set for Ermanni and Edwards. They were bringing in new equipment. It was like, here's how I felt. I felt like, hey, you and Lindsey, get your asses out of here. The real show's coming now. Get out of here. You're in the way.
Now, I hope you know that's not how I feel at all. I love you guys. And if I had my druthers, I'd probably love to sit in with you guys.
No, man, I know. I kid a little bit. But, no, man. You know I love you. You know that you're my guy. And, hey, your New York Mets are doing what I asked the Tigers to do back in the day. Buy some prospects. Eat some salary and buy some prospects. Why couldn't we do that here, man?
Now, Neil, I'm not sure if you heard the stat, but the Mets are paying out $152 million of salaries that aren't on their team anymore. That would put that team that the Mets shipped out 17th on the list of salary this year in Major League Baseball. Players that don't play for them are making $152 million.
See, that's one way that you can look at it, Mass, but the other way to look at it is check out their farm system based on the deals that they
do have a good farm system. The Mets do.
Right, and they restocked it on the fly, and guess
They
what
did.
they can do once again? Circle the wagons and start buying up players again. That's how real franchises operate, Maz. That's what I was looking for from the Tigers when they were disassembling everything and the team, but they took the cheap way out. They did. Like, that's just what it is. Like, that's not what I think. That's what we know, Maz. So I'm envious once again of the Mets, what they did, because that's the way you're supposed to do.
Well, let me ask you this. You weren't here earlier with us. I'm going to put it to you. Do you think the Erod non-trade was a disaster, or do you look at it as possibly maybe we sign this guy and keep him? He's a good left-hand pitcher. What's your take?
No, I would have liked to have seen him moved because he can opt out. And look, we talked about this on Big D Energy from 11 to 1, the Woodward Sports Network. For those of you that, haven't maybe tapped into the show before, judging by the chat thread, there are a lot of you maybe, because we're not about the poop emoji on that show, as you guys know. But, it's for me, what I would have wanted to see done is I wanted to see him move. But here's what I think happened. And I'm not reporting this. I don't know this. I think Rodriguez said, yeah, I'll go to the Dodgers. And then when the time came, he said, nah, I'm good, bro. I don't want to go. For whatever reason.
His wife.
I can't speculate.
His wife. His wife said, no. You're not going out with the boys tonight. You're staying home and babysitting the kids with me.
Well, I mean, whatever that reason was, I can't speculate on that, Maz. But I think that Scott Harris was caught in the middle. Scott Harris was a lot like the married man, trying to balance the holidays between the in-laws and his family and stuff like that. And I feel bad for the dude, I do. But I will say this, like, you look at the return he got for Lorenzen, that he walks in and he's the sixth best prospect in the Tigers farm ranking system, man. So, like, you can't argue that when Scott Harris gets a chance to cook, he can cook, because he did. He signed Lorenzen, then he flipped him for their sixth best prospect. Boom, just like that. So I don't have as big of a problem with it today as I did yesterday before we do some of the details. And I just think that Erod flaked on him. And it's not the first time.
Hey, well, I got you here. Do you want to do a quick round of maybe men's deodorant draft or something?
Men's deodorant draft? I mean, yeah, sure, let's do it. Who's got the first pick?
I'll let you have the first pick.
Who are you taking first overall?
I think it's a dominant performer. I would probably go Gillette Gel, the Mountain Spring.
That's a little wet. Isn't that a little wet on the underarms?
It is, but man, the balance of antiperspirant and deodorant makes that one. It's absolutely the perfect mix, Maz. It's a high performer, especially in the clutch. It's never going to disappoint you. I'll say it like that. Who you got,
Jeff's got the two-hole here.
I just want to say Neil could sell me a penny. Like this man. I'm an Old Spice guy. If Old Spice falls in the draft, I might. I'm going to take my guy.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. But Neil, man, that's a hell of a sales pitch right there.
He is a good salesman.
No, and here's the other thing of it too, because I know what Maz is going to do with his pitch. He's going to take the right guard spray. He's not even going to take like the gel or the stick or anything like that. He's going to take like the right guard
old school
spray. That's how Maz.
Hey, listen, if there was still Noxzema shaving cream, I'd be using Noxzema.
100%. Give him some Barbasol, that big thick.
I use Barbasol. You're damn right I do.
Of course.
You're damn right.
And then he's going to splash some Stetson on right after that's over.
No, I like Brute. Brute is best. Brute. Because Joe Namath hawked Brute, so I use Brute.
Yep. No, I could see that totally.
I could tell you were probably an Aqua Velva guy. I think you're an Aqua Velva guy.
No, I still run Cool Water, believe it or not.
Cool Water, a little Davidoff.
Yep.
Little Davidoff, whatever you call it. Hey, Neil, thanks a lot for calling in and getting everything started here in the chat.
Me,
we love you.
You guys called me because magically everything worked.
Oh, I see. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Neil, live in person.
I'll be here.
You're the man, Neil.
Thank you, Neil.
No, you guys are. Props to you.
God bless.
Go Blue.
Great.
Yeah, go Blue.
No.
Championship or bust.
Man, Neil's great.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Neil Rule, of course, 11-1 on Big D Energy. You love him. You love his passion. You love his energy. I love all you guys.
Neil is great.
When I come in this building, I wouldn't give this building up for nothing. For nothing. I come in, everyone's like cheers me when I come in. I get hugs. I go home, my girls, they don't even pay attention to me. I mean, you guys are my guys. This is it, man. This is what I wanted growing up. I wanted my boys.
Yeah, we got you, man.
I wanted my boys. Instead, I got 4 sisters and 3 daughters, but I got my boys here at Woodward Sports.
We're lucky to have you.
Thanks,
Maz, I was telling them in the back, I said, there's 2 people at this network I'm going to war for. It's Maz and JB.
Oh,
wow.
Like if someone inquired Woodward Sports about a trade, Maz and JB are on the untouchable list. It's already made.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great to hear.
That, man.
Who's your 10-team no trade list?
I'll get into that.
Yeah.
I'll get into that. But we're going to come back. We got a lot more coming. A lot more football for you as well. Keep it right here on Woodward Sports. It's Broder and Maz and Jeff and JB and Parker. And what do we got coming up here now, Parker?
Les Stanford.
All right, let's have it.
All right, Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 50 years. Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know and love. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And of course, if you're looking for that new Chevy or Cadillac, you can't forget about Les Stanford in Dearborn. Find the brands you love at lesstanford.com. Lesstanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find new
roads.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to the bottom line, the final word, whatever the hell you want to call it. Woodward Sports, it's Maz and Broder on the Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz show. Jeff Iafrate, so nice to hang with you, my friend. Thanks for staying around. You catch Jeff and Sam Flannel weekday mornings, 8 to 10. Then, of course, the Big D Energy with Neil Rule and D-Mac when he's healthy, and Lindsey Hunter and the cast of thousands, 11 to 1. And you got us guys from 2 to 4. Then the heavies are coming up after that. Spenny and Easy and Chris Platty. What do we used to call Chris? What was
well, he was referred to as Young Sus.
Young Sus.
But he has now reverted that name back to Chris, respectfully.
He's not Sus anymore. I used to like that.
Well, he did it. So that's what, eventually,
is that a bad thing to call him that? What was it? I really don't even know what it was. I just thought it was cool. Not sissy, but
yeah,
it's like suspect, right? Like
yeah, I don't want to get canceled, so it's sus. Yeah,
right,
it's a little suspect.
We move it.
Yeah, we'll keep it moving.
We keep it moving.
People in the chat know what it means.
All
they
right.
know it.
We're live with Fox 2, right? Like
we
gotta keep this.
We gotta keep it good.
It's a family show.
That's right.
Yeah, family program.
Fox 2 Detroit, you know it, my friends. We're local, live on that every single day between 2 and 4. I told you I was going to do a little Jets with you. I won't kill you with Jet stuff, but everyone likes Hard Knocks. At least we did last year. Here's a little taste what you're going to see next week.
There's a lot of expectations on this football team. They're dangerous. Watch out.
To achieve the results you want, it doesn't happen on game day. It happens today with every breath you take.
This guy is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Push each other. make it hurt. It's time to rewrite our story.
I got the goosebumps.
Yeah, wow.
How about that?
Wow.
The Jets, Jets. Lev Shriver. One of the greatest. He's like the voice of God, that guy. That's what you don't get when you have like Inside the Den and all of that, all these other shows. And the Jets have their own. Like Take Flight is their Inside the Den. So every team basically has their own little Hard Knocks. But HBO has got Lev Shriver. Okay? The voice. It makes it worth it. August 8th, it's coming. But you know what's coming tomorrow? Football tomorrow. The Jets and the Browns. How about it, man? The Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Did you guys ever go to Canton, Ohio yet? Have you gone to the Hall of Fame?
I've been to the Hall of Fame. I was younger. I don't remember it as well, but I made one trip.
So that means you didn't go.
No, I did go.
No, you went, but you
it was
don't
like
remember.
a trip. We went to Canton, Ohio, went to Toronto for the NHL Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Been to Cooperstown,
Nice.
of course. So, that's the one.
You're missing Springfield, Mass, though.
I know.
I've been
to the NBA.
Great place.
You've been to Springfield?
Yes, I have.
I have not been to the NBA Hall of Fame.
Oh, it's awesome.
Basketball
Shout out
Hall of Fame.
They have a little Hall of Fame court. I was able to shoot around on. It was nice. It was nice.
Have you been to Canton, Ohio?
No, that's next.
That's something you got to do.
I had an opportunity to go about a month ago, but it schedule conflict.
So this weekend is when the Hall of Fame will put their new class in. I used to, once in a while, on the way to New Jersey, I would sometimes stop and try to catch a Hall of Fame, the speeches and all. I would never be able to tie it all together, but I said one day I'm going to do it, and I will. One day when one of my really, really favorite players go in, I'll be there. When Matt Stafford goes in, I'll be there. I will stop in. When Joe Namath goes in, no, he's already in. He's already in.
You know what you need to do? You need to attend a Jets playoff game, maybe a
Yeah.
divisional round game where you just watch Aaron and the Jets crumble, Maz. That's what you need to see in person.
That's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. You said their little series they got is Take Flight.
Yeah.
If we're talking flights, they're like the Malaysian airline, all right? They're going to go in the middle of nowhere, and they're going to disappear, Maz.
You really believe that, huh?
That's what's going to happen.
You're pretty funny.
You know what, though? Aaron Rodgers, I've grown to respect a teeny bit more. All right, because he has. I'll give him credit with the Jets so far. Good teammate. He's been doing all the right things.
Took the Packers' money and gave it to the Jets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's done all the right things, but something's fishy, man. Something's fishy.
Well,
I've watched Aaron way too long. I know who Aaron is as a person, and all of a sudden he's turning it around at age 38? Aaron Rodgers might put up the stats in the regular season, but Maz, he come playoff time.
Something about that darkness.
We'll see.
Man.
They got to get in the playoffs. The AFC is very tough.
Their division's tough.
It's very hard to get out of that division. To get into the big dance is going to be amazing. Whoever gets home field this year, it's going to be hard. I mean, it's been the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs have got their work cut out for them this year. They're not the same old Chiefs. They do have Patrick Mahomes, though. The Bengals are going to take a step back with Joe Burrow. You don't know how injured he is.
Yeah.
You don't know if what's going on with that calf.
He's fine.
What was that?
It's only a calf strain.
I know.
To what we know.
We'll see.
But you know what, though? Those calf strains, you
Yeah.
hurt your calf, and then you rest the leg, and now it's weak. You injure something. You never know.
The calf and the Achilles,
season.
it's all in the same area. At least I think it was when I went.
Part
to
of what
medical
makes
school.
football so great, it's maybe the only sport left where the home field advantage, it truly is an advantage if you have the right crowd, the right building.
Yeah.
So it's elevated even more once you get to the playoffs, which is why each regular season game in the NFL is so important. Like, none of the games you can look past.
Yeah, you can't really skate past them. It's not the NBA where you can take 25, 30 games off.
No, it's not.
And the NHL as
Load
well.
management.
Yeah, and the NHL as well. Hey, look, another Jet story. We talked about Nathaniel Hackett yesterday coming out and saying that he was very disappointed Sean Payton kind of broke.
Oh, yeah.
He broke the conduct, right? He broke the brothers. He leveled Nathaniel Hackett and his coaching staff in Denver, calling it the worst coaching job in NFL history. Yesterday, Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers' favorite coach, he took the podium and had this to say.
Before we get started, I just want to say something real quick. Obviously, last week has been a very unique week, I think, for this organization. And, I've been involved in this business my whole life, 43 years. And as a coach, as a coach's kid, we live in a glass house. We know that. We all live in different rooms. We all got a key for it. And it's one of those things that there's a code, there's a way things are done in that house. And, this past week, it's frustrating and it sucks, but we're all susceptible to it. There are things that you do, mistakes you make, and it costs you time on the field, costs you your job, all those things. And I own all that stuff. I mean, it's that fact. I got no excuses. That's how we live here at the New York Jets. That's how we've lived everywhere I've been. No excuses. So I own all those things. And it's unfortunate that had to happen, that the comments that were made. But, hey, they did. I'll tell you, I was probably more surprised that they happened now. Was definitely expecting them in week 5. So I'm almost thankful that we got that, out of the way. We all understand where certain people feel and think. And I'll tell you, you can always look at that silver lining. And, man, this organization, these players, the coaches, Saleh, just the entire organization, Woody, Jaime, Gelfand, everybody has been unbelievable. I think that's something that is just awesome. It's brought our team together. Even the old players that I've coached very recently, just being able to, hear them. And it makes you understand that you do this for a very specific reason, for the love of the game, for the love of teaching, for the love of watching people grow. And there's ups and downs. Never get too high, never get too low. And, gotta love this stuff. So.
Nathaniel Hackett speaking out on Sean Payton and how disappointed he was, but it is what it is. What was your take on that? I never got a chance to ask you. Did you side with Sean Payton saying, wow, finally a coach came out and really tells you how it is? Or was it like what I've said, wow, I never heard a coach talk like that?
Yeah, as someone who follows the NFL, you like to hear it. It's entertainment, and you like a coach just speaking unfiltered exactly how he feels. He broke the code, though.
He did.
You can't do that. You can't give them bulletin board material, and you really just can't. Coaches, there's a fraternity. Like, they are a fraternity in their own right. You just can't throw them under the bus. Like, if you were to heard anything, it'd be, Detroit Lions coaches throwing Matt Patricia under the bus.
Course.
And even them.
That's not right.
Yeah,
either.
it's not right.
I did make an adjustment. I'm like, if it was Matt Patricia, I was okay with it.
Yeah, right. But, Maz, I mustache you a question.
Mustache.
Ooh. October 8th, 4:25 p.m. Is the Jets versus Broncos game, is that now the most highly anticipated game of the NFL season?
I think I'd like to see the rest of the games that week. That game will be a national television game.
If it's not announced already, they got to move, flex it.
I don't think they could flex yet until later in the season. That's week 5.
But they put it on.
I'm pretty sure that it's going to be on the radar somewhere, somehow. CBS will probably grab it. That's probably a Nance and Romo game. I could see the writing on the wall with that one. Jeff, I want to go to you about Nathaniel Hackett and Sean Payton. Just your quick thoughts on that.
So Sean Payton's comments, what he said wasn't wrong, but yes, there is that fraternity. It felt like Sean Payton still had his analyst hat on a little bit.
He did.
From Fox.
He kind of said that.
Yeah.
But it's too late.
No, it's too late. And for someone like, if you're talking about the pressure scale, if anything, it puts more pressure on Sean Payton than it does Nathaniel Hackett. Like, Nathaniel Hackett's reunited with the quarterback that, he had the most success with as an OC. He's kind of hiding under the shadow of Robert Saleh. If anything happens, it'll be Robert Saleh taking all the blame, not Nathaniel Hackett. And then Sean Payton now with Denver, arguably, at least, I don't want to say the situation is one of the worst because they got a pretty good team, but at least what we saw as fans last year, that was bad with the Broncos. So I think those comments, Sean Payton's comments, if anything, it just puts more pressure on Sean Payton. And I think they'll be better. I think the Broncos will come in second in that division.
I think you're right.
But yeah, if anything, it just puts a little bit of heat under Sean Payton. But if anybody can handle that heat, it's Sean Payton.
You think over the Chargers? You got second over the Chargers.
Yes, I do believe that.
You're underselling the Chargers.
I don't want to say I'm underselling because I like Herbert a lot. I just hate Brandon Staley. Not personally, but
right.
I think it's a matter of when, not if, he's fired.
Okay.
And that's Ben Johnson's new destination next year.
We hope not, right?
I hope, yeah. Of course we hope not. But I think the Broncos, people want to write them off because of last year. You talk about a good defense. Russell Wilson didn't forget how to play football.
He had 6 games where they kept teams under 17 points.
Absolutely. So I think the Broncos are going to be much better.
Hey, we got a lot more football coming up. Keep it right here on Woodward Sports. It's Broder, Maz, Jeff Iafrate, of course, in the big boy chair, Parker, and JB. But first, we're going to hear about Planet Fitness.
Yes, because summertime is a great time to join Planet Fitness and beat low E. Planet
it
Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I do mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes in the 30-minute circuit, plus all memberships include fitness training. Now, with more than 50 convenient locations around the Metro Detroit area and thousands more around the world, no matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness nearby. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey guys, how'd you like to play golf like a celebrity? You know it. Thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and us at Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more info soon on how you can play golf like a celebrity and not break your ribs. Like poor Mac did.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. It's Maz and Broder on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz and Jeff Iafrate. The boys here with us as well. Thanks a lot, guys, on the chat. Try to give us a like if you can. That helps YouTube push out our content, so we can appreciate all that. And leave us a 5-star review, of course, on YouTube when you're watching our stuff and reading Broder's stuff and Terry Foster's. And check out Gabby, of course, on YouTube and Twitter. And what else do we do? We do TikTok. We do Instagram. We're all over the board, folks.
We got podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, all of it.
Anywhere you can get a podcast, you can find.
Yeah, leave us a
Woodward
5-star. Leave us a
Sports.
review too. You might get it read aloud on
absolutely
on screen one day here soon.
Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. It's the gambling again. Now, did you guys hear about these Iowa State guys?
Just barely. Introduce it to
crazy.
us.
I'll give you 2 stories. First, I'm going to give you the Broncos. And we mentioned this a few weeks ago. Their defensive lineman, Iafrate, placed 32 bets on Denver Bronco games and players during his rookie year. He's been suspended for a year, by the way. He also bet when he was in college at Iowa State, and he could face jail time. Now, other guys at Iowa State, I'm talking there's a laundry list of them, but their starting quarterback, Hunter Decker's accused of placing 24 different bets on their sports. And I'm talking guys are betting on wrestling. A kicker, a backup kicker, was betting on his team against Iowa. Iowa State's a huge game in state.
Yeah.
He was betting the under, and he's a kicker. And they went under. There's like 20 people that are going to be in trouble at Iowa State. And then this kid brings it to the Broncos and bets on not only the team, but he's betting on different players and prop bets and all that kind of stuff. And, in the thousands of dollars. But the one kid bet in Iowa State, I think he put like 40-something thousand on a wrestling match.
Oh, my gosh.
And this all got out. The NCAA's got their hands full on this one. Now the NFL has got their hands full as well. So this makes what Jamison Williams did look like piddly crap. I mean, it's amazing. And this is what you get when you have betting on our phones. It's too easy. It's so easy to put a bet in. And anywhere you go, if you go to a racetrack, they have a sports book. If you go to a stadium, most of them are going to have sports books now. It's only a matter of time, but Ford Field's going to have one.
Yeah, oh yeah.
As well. This is what you get, guys. So reap what you sow.
Do you think? I don't want to make an excuse for players that get in trouble with the rules out there, but do you think it's clear the educational aspect of this, of the NFL educating its players or the teams educating their own players, isn't as tight as we think? And I say that because it like what you're saying, it's so easy to place a bet on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally it takes less than 10 seconds. So if you think you're not doing anything wrong, whether that's your fault or the NFL's or whoever, it's becoming a part of life now. Not that I'm advocating for anyone to gamble, but like if you don't think there's anything wrong, you place a $5 bet on anything. You can literally bet on anything.
I mean, J-Mo was in a team hotel in another state.
Yeah, and he loses millions of dollars in 6 games because of it.
And we lose out as Lion fans, and the Lions lose out on their number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, and the rules state he can't even appeal.
Thank you, Sheila.
So he can't even appeal. Maybe we're months past it. He can't get it down to 3 games or whatever, because that's how
they should be able to do this. And Jeff, I want to ask you about the NFL in general with the gambling.
Mm-hmm.
They really haven't done much to improve it yet. I mean, all these guys coming out and all these guys getting ticked for a game here, 3 games here, 6 games a year indefinitely, they got to do something.
I think jail time is a good place to start.
Oh, I don't know about
like
that.
Because that's extreme. Especially
if they know if they fixed games, that's where you go to jail.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying all players should get jail
Correct.
time, but that to even have that as a possibility, if these things do get to that point. I mean, there's things in life that you want to stop, but you just don't. But if there's something you want to stop doing and you can't, that's addiction. And you have a guy like you've been betting since college, and you carry it to the NFL. Maz, that's a problem. Like that's a legit addiction. And then there's guys that are one-offs that are like a Jameson Williams who, you're just placing a bet. You're in the wrong place, wrong time. You get suspended. Or there's guys that are fixing games, betting on. I mean, if it goes back to college and you carry it to the NFL, you have your own issues.
Oh, yeah,
so that's where. But again, what do you do? The NFL's in bed with all these these sports books. It's
reap what you sow, but it looks bad.
Yeah,
it does.
You brought up a good point about the addiction aspect of it, and I know we're not there yet, but we saw guys like Josh Gordon. When they struggle with alcohol or drugs, get put in the NFL's rehabilitation program.
Yeah.
Gambling is an addiction.
You bet it is.
So,
I've had friends that have had to leave their families,
absolutely,
and go away to another state to dry out.
How is the NFL going to deal with that? That when it becomes apparent that a player is addicted, I don't know the scenario in my head yet. I don't necessarily want to, put it out there live on air, but it's going to be an interesting response whenever this all plays out.
Well, the first guy that got caught with his hand in the cookie jar is Calvin Ridley. Mm-hmm. He's paid a year's worth of salary.
Yeah.
He's coming back this year with Jacksonville. And how'd you like to be Trevor Lawrence? And how'd you like to have Trevor Lawrence and him as your 1-2 punch? I think that's going to be a hell of a combo.
I do too.
That was one of those you guys did top QB wide receiver combos a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the list. I don't know if he was just forgotten about. But
no, we put him in as an also eligible.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Ridley, I mean, he's an upper echelon wide receiver in the league.
He is. You forget about him.
There was a clip that came out a week or two ago of Zay Flowers running a route in practice, and then immediately it cuts to Calvin Ridley, the next guy in line, and it's night and day. Like the way he moves. I forgot how good he was.
We're going to find out how good he was, because Jacksonville, I think, is a real team with a real coach and an owner that wants to win and putting a lot of money. That stadium is going to get refurbished. They want to make it the best stadium in the NFL without knocking it down. They want to make it into some unbelievable place. And the Jags are probably, in the next year, going to have to find a new home temporarily. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say, well, that was always the team for London, but it's going to have to be somewhere. It'll probably be a college stadium. Could be in Gainesville in Florida. Could be somewhere closer to Jacksonville and in the eastern part of Florida. But we'll find out about that. More NFL. Did you guys get a load of the Dallas Cowboys practice yesterday? Micah Parsons, my guy, Micah Parsons, he forgot it's only practice. Look what he does to Dak. He blows Dak up, and he hits him low. We can play that again. Hits him low. Look at this, Jeff. Dak got up slow, He's okay, but it looks like Mike is ready to play some ball this year, fellas.
Look at that movie.
Yeah.
That movie put on that left tackle.
It looks like he was. It's like he in his mind. He's like, yep, I'm in a game. I'm going to win this rep, and then he gets to the deck, and he's like, oh wait, I can't tackle that. And he just kind of does this awkward fall. Or maybe, just to play devil's advocate and have some fun here, maybe he wants Cooper Rush back in that damn lineup. Because they were undefeated with Cooper Rush.
I don't know about that, man.
He's just trying to toughen him up. That's all that is. Right
Is that what that is?
Yeah, he's just trying to toughen him up a little bit. You can see it, especially in practice, too. I think we played it earlier this morning, right, Jeff, with
his
who was the
intercepted
cornerback?
pass.
Yeah, we played what fits our narrative, and that's Dak Prescott throwing a pick in practice. It fits our narrative now, so we played it.
Of course
15
it does.
interceptions this season.
Did you play the Trey Lance stuff too? You know, him tripping over the ladder.
No,
and
I
trying
didn't.
to throw a ball trying to throw it to Matt from here to Matt, and he threw it over there. Poor Trey Lance. We talked about a little about him yesterday. That's a lost puppy, man.
Yeah, that might be one of the top NFL busts of all time.
Does it
He's
sound
trending towards that.
Yeah, he is. And I don't want to be that guy. I like Trey Lance. I didn't think it'd be
A lot
this
of people
bad.
did.
I didn't think it'd be this bad, but to think the 49ers, Maz and Broder, they could have got Justin Fields. They
Yeah.
could have got Mac Jones.
What do you got, Parker?
I mean, you got to think about it. The first year, he sat behind Jimmy G. Second year, he was injured for the entire year.
Yeah.
Loses his job practically to Brock Purdy, and now is coming in with kind of I'd say a chip on the shoulder, now having to prove himself once again.
Well, he better.
I mean, I hope so. I
He
like
better.
the guy, like Jeff.
Yeah, they got old Mike McCarthy helping out with the play calling.
That's right.
All right, I was told he's a pretty good play caller.
He is. Well, he kind of. I think it's his last chance.
Yeah.
So he probably told Jerry Jones and let me call my own plays.
Yeah.
Give me one last shot.
Right?
Yeah.
Give me a last shot.
Yeah.
I really believe. I always thought Sean Payton was waiting for that Cowboy job. I guess he just didn't want to wait anymore, and he took the Denver job. You know, I think the Cowboy job would have been a great job for him. Mike McCarthy's a good coach. I mean, he's been good over the years. So we'll see how he does. Last year, no kicker, Brett Maher. I mean, you saw what that poor guy went through the yips in the playoffs. They got themselves a new kicker. We got a lot more coming up. I got a great Jordan Love story for you. I'm going to play that for you. You know, the Packers.
The Loch Ness Monster.
That's it. Is that what they call it?
I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
We haven't seen him too often.
I don't know. We
think we're
haven't.
gonna use
It's a good
that.
point. It's a good point. So before we do that, where are we going now, Parker?
Lady Jane's
All right.
haircuts for men.
Well, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. I mean, look at behind me.
Look at
Lady
that flow on
Jane's,
They
that
fellas.
love that camera.
You
These
wanna-
guys love that camera.
Oh, they do. Absolutely. You walk into a Lady Jane's, any Lady Jane's, for an award-winning haircut experience, and automatically you're entered for a chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, even your best bud. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves. drinkcintron.com/Vegas. That again, drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
All right, before you get on that plane, make sure you get to Big Boy and Strawberry Fest. You know that. And start your day off with a great breakfast. The strawberry hotcakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. If you want a little brunch, how about the strawberry bacon chicken wrap? Or if you want to keep it light, the refreshing summer splash salad could be for you. You'll save some room for dessert because you got the classic strawberry pie, the deep fried vanilla Oreos, and the strawberry hot fudge cake. Plus, you can just say, give me a big boy at your local Big Boy. Welcome back. It's Broder, Maz, Jeff, and the gang on Ermanni Edwards with Maz here on Woodward Sports as we take you down the stretch we go. Tigers a winner today. They whip up on the Pirates 6-3.
They always have, haven't they?
Well, now the Pirates always give them a hard time, too. Jim Leland in the audience, both his favorite old teams.
Yeah.
Jim Leland came out yesterday of the manager's office, and he's like, I've been traded as well. That's what Jim Leland said yesterday. I love that guy. Can't get enough of Jim Leland. So the Tigers get the day off tomorrow, travel day, come back home. Pretty short trip from Pittsburgh to get home here, and then they'll get the Tampa Bay Rays coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, I told you I had something for Jordan Love for you. And believe it or not, would you believe that Aaron Rodgers actually reached out to Jordan Love?
Yeah, no, Aaron reached out to me last night, and that's exactly what he said. Yeah, he said, just be yourself, have fun, enjoy it. It's obviously my time now, and he just said, be yourself. And I mean, that's all you can do. That's kind of been the message from everybody is, be yourself. Don't try and be anybody else. Don't try to be Aaron, things like that. Just be yourself, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
There you go, Broder. You got to look at the missing man, Jordan Love.
I don't even know if I would have recognized him.
No, none of us would have.
I don't even know if I would recognize Aaron Rodgers being a guy to call Jordan Love after what he dealt with Brett Favre.
Isn't that something?
From the start, he's been against this whole Love mentorship story. So I don't know what's he drinking in New York. What's in the water?
Jeff, you're a big Aaron Rodgers fan. You said that he's a changed man. He's even calling Jordan Love.
I guess anybody.
Wish him luck for the Packers.
Well, anybody that leaves Wisconsin to go to New York, it just changes your whole mindset, I guess. I mean, you're from the area, man. As you know it. It's a different aura. You're in the big time market, and Aaron being a good guy, great. Helping out teammates. I didn't know who that was last year when he was with the Packers. But Jordan Love, to me, I think he's one of the most interesting storylines. I'll say that. Because what are the chances, Maz, and I want you to answer this because I want you to be truthful with me, okay? Because you've been watching the Packers your entire lifetime, okay? Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. What are the chances that they go from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer?
Pretty slim.
Exactly.
That's
and I hope it plays out that way. But who knows? Jordan Love has a good team around him. I don't know if he can play, though. I don't know.
I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the guy. And don't forget, the NFL, they got the Packers 5 times on primetime. Like either a Thursday, a Monday, or a Sunday night game. You're going to see the Packers 5 times. So maybe they know something.
It'll be 5 more times that I've seen Jordan Love than last season. They're an interesting team to me. They've got some good pieces, but I don't know. There's something in the back of my head that kind of thinks that they're going to see how the first couple of weeks play out, and if the season starts turning bad, they got Caleb Williams in the back of their head.
Yeah,
I think they might be one of those strategic type tankings.
They're not going to beat out Arizona for worse record.
They shouldn't. They're way more talented, but you never know. I mean, we just really don't know what we're going to see out of Jordan Love.
Okay, how about I don't even know who their backup is. Does anyone know who the Packers backup is?
Magoo?
They signed.
Will it be Teddy Bridgewater?
They did.
Smart.
They did. That would be smart.
Sean Clifford.
They got Sean Clifford.
Who was that?
And they also signed XFL quarterback Alex Magoo. I think his name is Alex Magoo. Magoo. I like calling him Magoo. It's funnier.
Good.
Do you know him? Before Jeff said that, do you know who he is?
I know the name.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his games.
Clifford. Alex Magoo.
Wow.
Sean
So
Clifford.
they need a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater. I never thought about that.
That could be the place where Teddy goes, and he might be able to. He might start for the Packers.
Well, yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Hey, keeping it in the quarterback family here. You guys know about Gardner Minshew. He's like a wild card, that guy. He's a fun dude. I think he's the backup quarterback in Indy right now. I think he's backing up Anthony Richardson. By the way, Anthony Richardson looks like a freaking beast. All right, and I know everyone laughed. You can take
that was me. I'll claim it. It was
all right,
me.
you're gonna eat crow. You're gonna eat crow when this kid is done.
You know what? Maybe I will.
Okay.
But until I see him, And I know that sounds like a lazy take, but it's true, Maz. A lot of guys look great sometimes in training camp. All right, guys are slinging it, right? But I got to see Anthony Richardson in a game, and we'll see. No doubt he's dynamic, though. I mean, 6'4". He's
even put on weight.
Yeah, big guy. I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch him. Just hopefully he can, throw to his receivers rather than the DBs. That's all I'm looking for.
Well,
Maz.
look. Well, he's going to be a starting quarterback for the Colts. All right, so. I'm not expecting big things out of him this year. He's going to take his lumps.
Maybe no Jonathan Taylor.
No, maybe. I think Jonathan Taylor will be there.
Well, they need to with Anthony Richardson there. The silliest thing they could do is let Jonathan Taylor go.
And there's so many rumors that this team they're not going to get rid of Jonathan Taylor.
No, that would be idiot. Jim Irsay, he's polarizing, but he's not that stupid.
No.
He's not getting rid of Jonathan Taylor.
Well, I was talking about Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
He's made $8.5 million in his career as a backup guy, right? What kind of car do you think he'd be driving? It's 2023 now. You're Gardner Minshew with $8.5 million in your pocket. Would you be driving a used car?
It depends. Like Gardner Minshew kind of gives me those type of vibes. Like he's rocking an old Buick or something like that, but got a ton of money in his bank account. Hey, I don't judge. You trying to drive a Buick Rendezvous or whatever the case may be? Go ahead, take it away.
He is driving a 2011 used car.
Oh, jeez.
A 2011.
He's the man of the people, man.
Not only that, he sleeps on a mattress that he found in the garbage. That's what Gardner Minshew is about.
It's a financial advisor's dream.
Isn't this not even a new bed? I just find that.
You know what
I thought that was a very funny story.
Maz, it reminds me of Chad Johnson back in the day. Ocho Cinco. Remember how cheap he still is cheap. And
he'd eat McDonald's every single day. That's all he ate.
Yeah, and he said he slept at the practice facility or the training facility for like his rookie year, and they had to told him to get the hell out and get an apartment because he didn't want to get a place. But also, I think probably more so Gardner Minshew than Ocho Cinco, but you don't know. Gardner doesn't know his future in the NFL. He's like, hey, I made millions of dollars, but
I know
all that could be going away.
But a new bed?
Yeah, well, that's fair. Okay, spending a couple $100 on a bed, I think that's fair.
The bed he's sleeping in, he found in the garbage.
Hey.
In Jacksonville.
He's character building himself.
I love the guy. How do you not root for that guy?
He must not.
He's got a great mustache.
He does.
It all fits.
It does.
He's on that Daniel Norris plan.
You should have a jersey. You should have a Minshew jersey with that mustache of yours.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
for Halloween.
He's low maintenance. Gardner Minshew's low maintenance. You know what I mean? You don't need much to impress him.
Real quick, who was the reliever for the Giants? 10, 20 years ago that he actually lived outside the stadium in a van. Was it Rod Nen or Beck? Rod Beck. Do you remember?
Rod Beck slept outside?
Yeah.
I know Daniel Norris slept in a van.
Yeah.
From Detroit.
Yeah, but I think it was Rod Beck or the closer for the Giants.
Rod Beck.
Yeah. He slept, I think, in a van. He had a little nicer van. I think it was a Winnebago or still. He's like, he didn't want to deal with traffic.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, wild.
Well, to each his own.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy. All right, guys. What do you think the 4 best-selling NFL jerseys are right now? Do we need a break?
No, I was just talking to JB.
Okay, we can keep going.
Hand signals.
Ooh. 4 best-selling NFL jerseys?
Give me the top one, you think. Who's the top-selling jersey?
Well,
think about it.
I would say Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champion.
Wrong. He's not even in the top 4.
Nope.
Wow.
It's going to be something. I know you got a curveball.
You're close there.
It's not really that hard. It's not someone that you don't know.
You're close. You said Mahomes, so
Jalen Hurts?
Correct, but which one? Let's put them up.
Oh, the Eagles, the amazing Eagles.
The new Kelly Green.
Yeah.
The new Kelly Green, which was from the Randall Cunningham era with Buddy Ryan. If you remember that special green. They're coming back for 2 or 3 games. Then you got Sauce Gardner in the Jets throwbacks from the 86 team that should have went to the Super Bowl, lost to Cleveland in double overtime. They could have played in that Super Bowl. And Derrick Henry with the Oilers jersey.
Amazing.
Not the Titans jersey.
That's sweet.
That's an Oilers jersey.
Houston Oilers.
And J.J. Jefferson with the Minnesota Vikings. And that's a throwback Viking, although you don't really know it is. That's going to be, they're going to use their throwback purples.
So all 4 of those, the 4 top-selling jerseys were throwbacks?
Yes.
Wow.
Isn't that something? And let me just say this, but the throwback jerseys are so much better than the jerseys now. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Especially the Houston Oilers jerseys. I've always loved those.
Well, they're gorgeous, but they're not the Oilers anymore. That's the only problem.
But,
they should have let the damn Oilers name stay in Houston. Because the Adams family took it when they moved the team to Tennessee. They were the Tennessee Oilers for 1 year.
Yeah.
Then they swapped it over to become the Titans, who used to be the Jets. When they came into the league, they were the New York Titans. So the Titans were brought back into Houston. Now the Houston Texans should be the Houston Oilers.
They should. Did Steve McNair get a year as an Oiler
in
Tennessee?
He was a Tennessee Oiler.
Rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace. One of my favorite quarterbacks.
So it's clear, at least in my opinion, that the Jets and the Oilers jersey, they're in that rank. They're in that position because of the jerseys. They're incredible. Do you think Sauce and Justin Jefferson were bought because of the throwback jersey or because it's Sauce and Justin Jefferson?
I think it's because it's Sauce and J.J. Jefferson.
I think so too.
Because if you're going to buy a Jet jersey now, wouldn't you buy an Aaron Rodgers?
Right.
Yeah, like if the Lions when the Lions come out with their new alternate uniforms, I want to check in on Trinity Benson. Where's he going to rank on this list?
Trinity Benson.
He went down today. He went down.
Okay, that's not funny.
Today.
No, I'm trying to laugh at that.
Yeah, no, but he's had a good camp. He just apparently he was carted off the field. So to be determined.
Oh wow, that's not good.
Yeah,
I felt bad. You know what's funny? Funny story. I was at a training camp on Sunday, and this is bad timing because he just got injured. So
that's okay.
But
Shane Zylstra.
At Sunday, when I was there with the guys, Booner, Mike, and Lucas, one of Mike's friends was there as well. Great guys, by the way. But one of his friends was trying to get an autograph from the Lions players that were coming through. And Cam Sutton came by, Jack Fox came by. He got those autographs, and then Trinity Benson walked by. And he said, "Nah, I'm okay." Maz, I've never. You don't see that too often. We're if you're getting signatures and you're like, I don't really want his signature.
Aww.
Like as it happens, Trinity was signing hats, but hey, it is what it is. He didn't want a signature to take place on his football.
Now, Parker,
Trinity Benson.
You got an autograph on your sunglasses, your grit sunglasses. Who signed that?
So one of my friends from college, he gave me a football. I got him like 5 or 6 signatures on that football. I was like, I should probably get myself something signed. I had nothing on me besides the Honolulu Blue giveaway sunglasses that they had. So I'm like, oh, Romeo Cora's coming down. Take my sunglasses. He's like, dude, I don't even know if I can write this small. I mean, he said a couple explicitives with that.
He did a good job, though.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked. I mean, shout out Romeo, but it looks like kind of like a little bit of chicken scratch because it's hard to write that small.
Yeah, but you know who signed them.
Yeah, I know who signed him. So
there you go.
And I posted it on my story, and he saw it. So I'm assuming I'm gonna wear it to the games this year, and I'm gonna be like, if I see him, I'm like, Romeo, remember this? And it's gonna be a fun time. I think.
We brought his name up today in a story, so it's all good feelings for you.
Yeah, that's my guy now. That's my favorite player on the team.
There have been some cool stories coming out of the autograph signing. I know James Houston, I think it was. Someone tweeted, a fan tweeted at him. He had his jersey stolen out of his car before.
That was Kirby.
That was Kirby. Because I also saw Kirby Cash App a fan who was asking for.
It was. I don't know if he might have Cash Apped him, but the guy tweeted out, "Hey, I got my jersey stolen," and Kirby says, "What's your Cash App? I'll try to get you refunded, or I'll give you the money back."
Whoa.
And he sent it, and Kirby responded saying, "I'm going to send you a prayer," and prayed for him. Didn't send him any money. Like he tweeted, it was a tweet saying like, "Dear Lord, pray for whatever to get his jersey back," and he was just messing with it. I don't know if he sent the money after. He might have. I don't want to.
I think he did.
He probably did, but the guy thought he was getting money, and he's like, "I'll send you a prayer."
I bet you the PR team told him, "Hey man, if you do that for him, you know how many people are gonna be coming for you?
Right.
Write it that you're not gonna do it, and then do it on your own if you like.
Yeah.
But write something. I'll give you a prayer instead, man, or a handshake,
a prayer,
or some goodwill. Hey,
yeah.
We got some more coming up. More football. We got some great stories still, and you're going to hear from Colin Kaepernick. Yes, wow. Colin Kaepernick is still in the news, but first you're going to hear about Dispo.
Oh, let me tell you about Dispo, because I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about signing Colin Kaepernick, you might want to go to here first. Maybe rethink your decision here, but I'll tell you about Dispo. Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. We were just there a couple weeks ago. I'm telling you, they spoil us. They take care of us. They take care of their customers. They take care of you if you show up. Indulge in the finest selection of cannabis curated with care. They got over 12 locations. Just opened up one in Whitmore Lake. Dispo's never too far away. Visit them, DISPOshops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. sports. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
It's a new year, so let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific for your needs. They have 24/7 professional monitoring, so call us anytime, day or night, and know that Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. There's technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have proven to care. So call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out!
Again, that's call 1-800
Stay out!
Get out of here!
Out.
Get out. Stay out.
Stay out.
Ask for
Maz.
Jason. Tell him Mad sent you.
Ask for
Guaranteed.
Jason.
Guaranteed. Excellent service. Welcome back to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, the Broder and Maz show today with Jeff, JB, and Parker. I told you I'd give you a little something on Colin Kaepernick. Did you know that Colin Kaepernick is still working out? Not only working out, throwing the ball, but he's throwing it to different NFL stars.
No cap?
Check this video out. No cap.
Man, he looks great. Looks good. Arm looks strong. He got a rocket of an arm. Look at that, man. He got him on a good 6 years left. The arm's still intact. Strong arm. Deep ball's very nice. And he's still capped now. Still got it to him.
Cap got a real racket for an arm, man, so it was different. Real good ball placement. Hey, it's easy when you got a quarterback that's been through it. He make it easy for it.
Good work. Cap was out there throwing darts. See, it looked smooth. So it was a great day.
Nice logo.
Wow.
Nike behind that, of course.
The logo.
That's a star-studded field he was throwing
Well,
to, boys.
I was going to say, if he's quarterback at a super team, maybe maybe he does have a chance.
There you go, Jeff. It's a good idea.
And I will say this, Maz, and although we could easily use this to come after Colin Kaepernick, I want to say this: I don't think there's 64 quarterbacks better than Colin Kaepernick. I don't think so. That's true. But the other part of it is, really, and this is just the reality of it. I don't make the decisions. Colin Kaepernick, he ain't playing another down in the NFL. He just isn't. It's the reality of which we're in right
I just want to remind everyone that he did take a team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If he didn't kneel, he'd still be in the NFL.
Definitely. But his time's passed, hasn't it?
Pretty much.
Like
he's 36 years old, 35 years old. 35. Kendrick Bourne said he's got 6 good years left. Maybe he was talking about Kirk Cousins.
Quarterbacks these days, they all play till they're 40, right? Especially the mobile ones.
Especially.
Yeah. You see that one clip when he's actually throwing the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, his mechanics are not what you want to see out of a quarter. The way he pulls the ball away from his arm, it's a very long delivery.
Yeah.
You know, defensive
he's getting
ends.
strip sacked. Huh?
Yeah, all day long.
But I will say this: the guy got robbed.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He should have had a job years ago.
And that's the problem. I think it's too late at this point. I think he should have already been in the NFL, years prior. But hey, it is what it is. Maybe it's a little bit of what do you call it? Collusion. Or
it is.
Of ownership. But hey, it is what it is.
But you know what was elite though in that clip? His logo. That was sweet.
It's a good logo.
You got the K logo on the inside of the C.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what did
Brandon?
Didn't he get taken care of with that lawsuit?
He did.
So
it's not like and Nike gave him some money as well.
So this is, you could tell, it's just for the love of the game. I mean, he loves playing football.
Keep his name out there, and he was a guy that took a stand and he paid for it.
You know who could use his a little bit of I don't know, gassing him up a little bit could be a Jim Harbaugh. Maybe Jim Harbaugh comes out, speak on your boy.
There was a word last year that Jim Harbaugh had some interest. Remember, he went to. Matter of fact, he invited Cap to Michigan
he had a workout
for their practices
at the Big House.
Yeah, he had a workout at the Big House. It didn't turn out. I just wanted to put it out there for you guys. If I see something that I think is interesting, I throw it out there for you guys in the chat. Last thing before we leave today, another thing that's always been on my mind is the old Washington Redskins, and then out of the Commanders. Did you know that there is a petition going around right now to change the name back to the Redskins? And I'm going to let you probably could read that a lot better than I can.
I got you. It says trending a petition to change the Commanders' name back to the Redskins. Now it's over 37,000 signatures.
It's over 50,000 now.
Wow. Ron Rivera acknowledged that they have been saying the term Redskins a lot recently, but that they say it with the utmost respect to Native Americans.
It was always made in utmost respect.
Yeah.
The name was out of respect.
As a team unifying around this name as a show of leadership and camaraderie.
Of course. Josh Harris, the new owner, mentioned Redskins in his introductory speech probably a half a dozen times.
Mm-hmm.
And the word on the street is, Magic Johnson even said it, there is a chance that they might change the name from Commanders to something else. Probably not going to be the Redskins.
Yeah.
If it was the Redskins, I want you guys to look back at the 1972 helmet. It was a gold helmet. I have it at home. It had an R in the circle, and it had feathers out of the circle. Instead of the R, you put a W for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And the feathers, you take the Indian head out of the circle. You don't use that. And you still could call them the Redskins.
I guess
it's a losing battle. It's just my humble opinion as a sports fan that in a million years I never would have thought that was something that hurt people. And if it does, then so be it. Then it's dead forever.
Yeah.
Well, I think more people had an issue, and I don't know. By the way, people could be 15 people in the middle of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think a majority of people did not have an issue.
No.
I don't even know if,
especially sports fans.
Yeah, and again, it's not like we can speak on the term Redskins and how it offends us. It would have to be that specific group of people. But I don't even think those people are concerned with it. So it's all PR.
The Seminoles in Florida, do not want Florida State to ever change their name.
Yeah.
They are outspoken about that. The Seminole tribe wants that name to carry on.
It's like the Cleveland Guardians that now is before was the Indians.
They were just the Indians.
Atlanta Braves.
But the Indians,
the Atlanta Braves are out there. The Kansas City Chiefs are out there. The Blackhawks. You can go on and on.
But
man.
the Indians, I mean, Redskin, whatever the terminology, but Indians, that's not even a derogatory name. Like that's Indian is an actual thing. That's not something you call, hey, Broder, you're an Indian. That's not an insult. That's a fact. If you are, of course, from that descent. So, I don't know. I think it's stupid, but it's the world we live in. It's 2023, Maz. It's unfortunate.
And when you go to Cleveland now and you do see that Guardian Bridge, it kind of rings, it's a cool name.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, Guardians, I always said it, looks like Indians. When it's on their jersey, you could almost think it says Indians.
Same font.
But it's the font and it's the IANS at the end.
And the thing is with with Washington, I mean, they when the team was originally founded, they used to give away free tickets to Native Americans. They used to have several events surrounded by the Native American community. So
interesting.
I mean, it was like Matt said, it was a positive outlook. And changing it now, I mean, realistically, at this point, if they change it back to the Redskins, I mean, we could see a throwback of the Washington football team jerseys.
Yeah, I don't want to see Washington football team. That's the one thing I don't want. Ryan likes that.
Who's next in this cancel culture, Maz? What, the Chiefs are next?
Yeah, I know.
Kansas City Chiefs got to change their name?
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
Did the Guardians ever settle with, it was the roller derby
roller
league?
derby. I don't think they did. I think they just disappeared.
How do you
They might have gave them free merchandise or something. Get the hell out of here.
And I think it's a similar story with the Cleveland Indians. I mean, they were originally the Cleveland Spiders, and then
I love that Spider name.
Yeah, and then they changed their name because their team was predominantly Native American, so they decided to call themselves
it's very good.
the Indians. So that's, I mean, it's most of the times when we have these names in sports, it's not out of derogatory judgment or derogatory use. It's really because of the situation that these teams were in. I mean, Spiders turned to Indians because of what I said.
Yeah.
And then the Redskins were there because that's just, I mean, they supported the culture. I mean, it's the capital of America. Why not represent something the natives that were here before us?
Good point, Parker. Hey, man, it's been a fun 2 hours. We took it to the end.
Yeah.
We're overtime right now. We are overtime. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Ryan will be back tomorrow. Braylon, hopefully his voice will be better. We'll get the team back. But this was fun, man. And Jeff, thanks so much for staying. I mean,
yeah, no problem.
I used to love doing those Lions pre-games with you.
Yeah, man.
You have come so a long way, I can't even tell you.
I appreciate
I'm like a proud father.
You know your Uncle Maz. I got your back. Anytime you need me, I'm here.
Bro, you're an up-and-comer, man.
Dude, I appreciate
Broder
that.
killed it today. Shout out to Broder.
What was the old business you were in?
IT sales.
Forget it.
Yeah, what?
This is your business.
I appreciate that.
This is your business.
Thank
JB
you.
and Parker, thanks to you guys. And thanks to all the poop emojis out there. And to Neil Rule for joining us. Neil, I love you. Go to hell. See you.